On April 14, 1945, just 24 days before the conclusion of World War II in Europe, the German submarine U-1206 was navigating at a depth of 61 metres, or approximately 8 nautical miles off the coast of Peterhead, Scotland. Hidden beneath the surface of the North Atlantic, the waters were heavily patrolled by Allied naval and aerial forces. In such perilous conditions, every action was crucial and every decision carried the weight of ensuring the submarine's survival and avoiding detection. U-1206 embarked on what would become its first and final voyage under the command of 27-year-old Captain Karl Adolf Schlitt. The submarine initially departed from the German port of Kiel on March 28, 1945 for a brief training patrol in the North Sea, returning on March 30th. It then undertook a one-day patrol from Horten Naval Base in Norway on April 2nd. Its first active combat patrol began on April 6 when it set out from Kristiansand. At the time of U-1206's commissioning, the broader strategic landscape for Nazi Germany was dire. By 1945, the Axis powers were under immense pressure, grappling with mounting losses and relentless advance of Allied forces on multiple fronts, leaving Germany increasingly isolated and on the brink of collapse. The situation in naval warfare was particularly dire for Nazi Germany. German U-boats, once a dominant force in the Atlantic, were increasingly outmatched by a well-coordinated and more advanced Allied naval effort. Over the years, the Allies had honed their anti-submarine warfare strategies, rendering U-boats far less effective than in the war's early stages. Key advancements including enhanced sonar systems, more effective depth charges, the introduction of escort carriers and aircraft equipped with anti-submarine weaponry played a pivotal role in shifting the balance of power in the Battle of the Atlantic. These developments forced U-boats to remain submerged for longer durations, reducing their operational effectiveness and increasing their vulnerability. The desperation within the German ranks was underscored by the staggering losses suffered by the U-boat fleet. By 1945, Allied countermeasures had become so effective that U-boats were being destroyed faster than they could be replaced, highlighting the rapidly deteriorating situation for Germany's naval forces. The once feared symbol of German naval dominance, the U-boat fleet, had become increasingly strained and plagued by operational difficulties. The commissioning of 1206 was part of Nazi Germany's final desperate efforts to leverage every possible technological innovation in a bid to slow the relentless Allied advance. However, these attempts unfolded against a backdrop of mounting despair and rapidly depleting resources. This sense of desperation reflected a broader acknowledgement within the German military leadership that the war was slipping irreversibly out of their control. Faced with diminishing resources and a pressing sense of urgency, they hastened the development of innovative but often untested and unreliable technologies in an effort to regain an advantage in underwater warfare. These rushed and sometimes poorly conceived innovations epitomised the desperation of a regime on the verge of collapse. In early submarine designs, a seemingly simple task of waste disposal posed a significant challenge. Traditional submarine toilets relied on systems that required the vessel to approach the surface to discharge waste. However, during wartime, this act of servicing or even coming near periscope death was fraught with danger. The Allies' aerial reconnaissance and patrol tactics meant that any unnecessary exposure could lead to detection and a swift attack. To address this vulnerability and extend the U-boat's ability to remain submerged for longer durations, German engineers focused on developing more sophisticated waste management systems. The result was the development of a high-pressure flushing system, a technological innovation designed to enable U-boats to discharge waste while remaining at operational depths. This system eliminated the need for submarines to surface or approach shallower depths, reducing the risk of detection and attack by enemy forces. At its core, the system relied on a sophisticated arrangement of valves and chambers engineered to withstand the immense pressures of the deep sea. By utilizing the pressure differential, waste could be expelled efficiently without compromising the submarine's position. This innovation highlighted German engineering ingenuity, striving to balance functionality, stealth, and operational safety under the challenging conditions of underwater warfare. However, the complexity of the high-pressure flushing system introduced significant challenges. It was far from user-friendly, requiring specific crew members to undergo specialized training to operate it correctly. What should have been a straightforward task, waste disposal, became a procedure fraught with risk. The intricate design demanded precise operation. Even a minor mistake, such as opening the valves in the wrong sequence, could lead to catastrophic results, including waste or seawater flooding back into the submarine's hull. While covertly navigating the waters of the North Atlantic on April 14, 1945, the U-1206 crew encountered a critical situation. As they worked to repair malfunctioning diesel engines, a new and unexpected problem arose. The submarine began taking on water, accompanied by the release of poisonous gas, jeopardizing the safety of the vessel and its crew. The source of the issue was both unusual and alarming: the submarine's toilet. Just prior to the incident, Captain Karl Adolf Schlitt made what seemed like a routine decision to use the newly installed high-pressure toilet. However, as with any complex machinery, there was always a risk of error. When Schlitt encountered difficulty operating the system, he called for a technician to assist. Despite the technician's training, a critical mistake was made and an incorrect valve was opened. This seemingly small error had devastating consequences. Instead of expelling wastewater into the ocean, seawater surged back into the submarine, jeopardizing its buoyancy and internal systems. According to the commander's official report, while assisting with repairs to a malfunctioning diesel engine in the submarine's engine room, he was alerted to a serious leak in the forward section caused by the toilet malfunction. The incoming water and sewage flooded the submarine's batteries located beneath the head. This breach caused the batteries to release chlorine gas, a highly toxic compound. Inhalation of chlorine gas transforms it into hydrochloric acid within the lungs, resulting in severe respiratory damage. In the confined and airtight environment of a submarine, the presence of such a deadly gas posed an immediate and extreme threat to the crew. Faced with an imminent threat to his crew's survival, Captain Schlitt was forced to make an agonizing decision: remain submerged submersion risks the deadly consequences of chlorine gas poisoning or surface a submarine, exposing U-1206 to detection by enemy forces. Placing the immediate safety of his crew above all else, Schlitt ordered the submarine to service approximately 10 miles off the Scottish coast. Once on the surface, U-1206 was dangerously vulnerable. It didn't take long for British patrols to spot the submarine, and it soon came under attack. Recognising the certainty of capture and determined to prevent sensitive technologies and intelligence on board from falling into Allied hands, Captain Schlitt made the difficult decision to scuttle U-1206, sealing its fate. When the order to abandon the sinking submarine was given, the crew faced a dire and chaotic situation. Amid the rough seas, 3 crew members tragically drowned after leaving the vessel. The remaining 46, including Captain Schlitt, managed to reach the Scottish shore, where they were promptly captured by Scottish civilians and Home Guard troops. These men were subsequently taken as prisoners of war. Thus, the ill-fated U-1206 met its end during the final days of the once formidable U-boat campaign, which had become increasingly ineffective. Less than a month after the incident, Nazi Germany would unconditionally surrender on May 7, 1945, marking the end of World War II in Europe. Over time, Allied forces had refined their anti-submarine warfare tactics, enhanced convoy systems, and crucially broken the German naval code. These advancements significantly diminished the effectiveness of German U-boats. The fate of U-1206 can be viewed as part of this broader decline, a testament to the waning dominance of the Kriegsmarine's once formidable U-boat fleet. Its story serves as a poignant example of the unpredictable nature of warfare, demonstrating how technology, human error, and sheer fate can intersect with unforeseen consequences. But what became of U-1206? In the mid-1970s, during survey work for the BP-40's field oil pipeline to Cruden Bay, the remains of U-1206 were discovered. The wreck lies at coordinates approximately 17 metres beneath the surface off the coast of Scotland. This hasn't made Jack, and if you're in a submarine right now, please don't flood the toilet.